What's up, guys? How is everybody doing? This is ESPN 360, and I am coming with my second of my 6 videos of my 2012 NBA Draft Review, where we're gonna be explaining all the picks and all the divisions, and I'll be giving my opinion on how those draftees and how those draft picks will affect the team heading into the next season. And last video I did it for Atlantic Division, so this is my second video, and I'm doing this one for the Central Division. And with that, let's begin. Our first team that we're gonna be talking about are the Chicago Bulls, and they had only one pick in this draft, and they made it count by going after a talented guy, Marquise Teague, point guard out of Kentucky, in round 1, pick number 29. And this pick was most likely for the injury of Derrick Rose. Injured-ridden Bulls came to the draft to find an insurance for Derrick Rose, and they found just that as Marquise Teague fell to them at pick 29 of first round. 6'2", 180 pounds, great speed and quickness, and good passer, but jump shot needs to be more consistent and still work in progress as he's still learning how to be a first pass point guard last year, a first pass point guard. And then last year in freshman year, he struggled early but impressed vastly, ended with 10 points per game and just under 5 assists. So he's also a good passer as well, but still work in progress. So we'll see how he will develop and help the Bulls, as they will miss some time with Derrick Rose due to that injury, due to that ACL injury he suffered in this year's playoff in Game 1 against Philly. And then we'll jump to Indiana Pacers. Coming to the draft, the Pacers were looking for someone who can come in and help them with offense and give the Pacers some consistent offense, which they didn't have and lacked when they faced eventual champs, the Miami Heat, in the Eastern semifinals last season. The two draftees they got were round 1, pick 26, Miles Plumlee, and round 2, pick 36, Orlando Johnson of US Santa Barbara. And the first pick was kind of puzzling because Miles Plumlee is not a terrific shooter and a terrific at offense, but that's what the Pacers were lacking. They did get a good, solid pick at the second round in pick 36, and Orlando Johnson of UC Santa Barbara, excuse me. So that was a solid pick. But in first round, they do get Miles Plumlee, who is a talented guy, but as I said, not good at offense. But aside from scoring, they did get a good pick, Miles Plumlee. Great athlete at 7 foot, great rebound, averaged 7 rebounds per game, and set Duke record last season by grabbing 22 rebounds versus Maryland, including 9 offensive rebounds. And now a Pacers second pick from Sacramento that they got, which was Orlando. They got that second pick from Sacramento by way of cash. And with that pick, they selected Orlando Johnson, small forward of UC Santa Barbara, underrated scorer, and someone who can come and fill in nicely. Great three-point shooter, which is what the Indiana Pacers were lacking, which was shooting and scoring consistently, and they didn't have consistent offense. So that will definitely help the Pacers in that department. Three-point shooter, great leaper, and has arsenal of weapons, but is a work in progress, as ball handling and defense are things he can improve on and will get better with more NBA coaching. 20 points per game last season, and also grabbed just under 6 rebounds, and was first player ever in Big West to win the league's scoring title 3 straight seasons. And now we'll turn our focus to the Milwaukee Bucks. With the first pick, they make pick 14, forward of UNC, John Hanson. Then with round 2, pick 42, they get guard Deron Lamb, Kentucky. 2 great picks for the Milwaukee Bucks, which could set them headed in the right direction, moving on forward. Milwaukee Bucks now get themselves right in the contention with one of the most solid drafts in this year, and that was Brandon Jennings and Monta Ellis. This could be the year the Bucks will make the postseason because they get big man they wanted at pick 14 with John Hanson, who come into the draft was one of the best shot blockers in the draft. Great athlete at 6'11", 220 pounds with wingspan of 7'5", which enables him to get great amount of rebounds. The ACC Defensive Player of the Year ended this season with an impressive 3 blocks, 10 rebounds, and 14 points per game. But his only knack is he's not a great shooter. But as again, that will probably be fixed with more NBA coaching and more NBA experience, and will improve vastly with more NBA experience. Great shot blocker, come from UNC, which they made it to the Elite Eight this year, so he's got experience. Did only shot 50% free throws and only 51% field goals last year. But again, that's something he will be able to fix and improve on with more NBA coaching. Then we'll get with a very late pick 42, the second round pick. Doron Lamb needs to get stronger, but his 6'7" wingspan will allow him to play taller than his 6'4" frame. Great shooter and great shooter from the cherry line as well. Scored 14 points per game this year, including a game high 22 points versus Kansas in this year's NCAA championship game, which shows he can handle the big stage. Then we'll move on to the Detroit Pistons. Round 1, pick 9, forward Andre Drummond. And then round 2, pick 39, forward Chris Middleton of Texas A&M. And then also round 2, pick 44, Kim English. After a solid draft last year, when the Pistons drafted Greg Monroe and Brandon Knight, Pistons make another big step toward contention with draft of Andre Drummond, who some thought as of a smaller version of Dwight Howard, and the thought of Drummond and Monroe in the front court is mind blowing because both are super athletic and super talented big men. The pick was also somewhat of a steal because Drummond was projected to go top 5, excellent athlete at 7 foot, and grabbed 10 rebounds and got 3 blocks per game this year, but awful free thrower and will definitely need to improve offensive skills. Then with second pick, the Pistons select Chris Middleton. Great talent and great athlete at 6'8", at 215 pounds. Down here because consistent injury this year in his junior season, but played excellent in his first 2 years. Great free throw shooter as he shot 75% from the cherry line this year and also averaged 13 points and 5 rebounds per game, and also decent amount of assists with 3 assists per game as well. Sees the floor well, but will need to get better. Then with the third pick, the Detroit Pistons draft Kim English. Not a great athlete, but at 6'4", 190, but is a great shooter and good defender. Played a big part in 35 season of Missouri with 15 points, 5 rebounds per game last year. Then we'll wrap up the video by moving on and focusing on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They had 3 picks and they got quite a lot of picks this year, and they also got quite a lot of talent. In round 1, pick 4, they had one of the top 5 picks, and with that, they take quite a surprise right there. Guard out of Syracuse, Dion Waiters. Then with round 1, pick 17, they get power forward Tyler Zeller of UNC, the ACC Player of the Year. Then we'll focus first on the first pick 4 guard out of Syracuse, Dion Waiters. Somewhat of a surprise, as Waiters was projected to go in mid-first round, but was taken by the Cavs top 5 at pick 4. And him, of course, pairing him with Kyrie Irving will improve Cavs offense, but his NBA readiness is a question, and also decent, and also doesn't have good size and will need to get stronger, and not a consistent jump shooter, but will create offense impact quickly and often. A good ball handler, and this doesn't mean that he's not going to be successful, but these are the things that he will need to improve through with more coaching and experience to become successful at the pros. Then with the second pick, the Cavs select a very accomplished player from North Carolina, Tyler Zeller. That of course Tyler Zeller with pick 17 was picked by Dallas Mavericks, but the Dallas Mavericks traded Tyler Zeller to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Looks like a very solid pick. Looks like a very solid guy that the Cavs will get this year, and looks like he will be a very solid piece. He will be a solid centerpiece of what the Cavs organization will do in the future. The ACC Player of the Year has a lot to offer with his 7-foot frame, as he led that UNC team last year to Elite Eight with 16 points and 10 rebounds per game this year. An intelligent player, good defender, and good free throw shooter, as he shot 80% from the line, but will need to get stronger. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time as we will review the Southeast Division. Thank you for watching, and see y'all later.